Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I've been busy, guys. I was finally able to get all of my potatoes and onions put in for the year, and that's what this video is about. I'm going to show you how I did all that. It's too soon to put much other out. It's February 19th, the weather, so I'm going to put some broccoli and cabbage out, cold weather stuff. That'll be going out next. All the other stuff, it's going to have to wait a little bit. But it's not a huge garden, but it's big enough for what we need. Last year, I had enough potatoes and onions to last. We've still got a stockpile of them. We've canned our potatoes. We've freeze-dried our onions. It's not complicated the way I do it. If you look at this photo right here, you're looking at the same area in this video today. This photo is from last year, and we had great success with our onions and our potatoes. So anyway, I think if you are into, prepping, being self-sustainable, I don't think buying a seed vault and putting it up and never learning the skill is a great idea. I would say now's the time that you start learning those skills. Go ahead and make your mistakes with your growing, your planting. Make those mistakes and learn from them. That's how the best way to do it. So when the time comes, that seed vault, that seed bank you bought, you'll be able to go to it and you know how to grow it in your area for your season, for your zone. And that's going to be important to you. It's going to be a great life skill to have in a grid down situation. So anyway, guys, I hope you do enjoy this video. There's nothing technical. I keep it very simple. I don't complicate things. I try not to. So anyway, if you do find the video helpful, if you would subscribe, like, and share, comment, I would much appreciate it. I'm Tad, and here it is. Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Last time I made a video was out here in the greenhouse. It's been about 7 days. Right now, the cabbage slowly starting to come up. Just slowly. But the broccoli looks like it's doing pretty good. They're starting to come up. Got this all cabbage here, so these are getting up. So what we're going to probably do today is I'm going to see, got a couple more broccoli. So what we're going to do today is we are going to get ready to start putting some stuff in, and I'm going to take you along with me. What we've got here is this landscape mat. Keeps the weeds out. All the weeds you're seeing now are holes from last year. And what we do is we just burn the holes in. And I'm going to show you how I clean those out and remediate them here in a little bit. This area right here has no landscape fabric. It's 5 foot wide, 45 foot long. And this is where we plant potatoes, anything that grows underground. It does not have landscaping fabric, because if it did, you'll run into problems with that, because your potatoes and everything will grow underneath that. So today, guys, I'm gonna try to get this area here ready for potatoes, because in our area, central North Carolina, it's time we get those in the ground. All these holes that are close together here, I'm going to show you how I take care of those for all of our onions. And we're going to have to wait a little bit on some stuff over there, but we will be putting the broccoli and cabbage out this weekend also. So we're going to be putting the potatoes in this weekend. We're going to put the onion in here, and then over in that area over there, we'll be putting some broccoli and cabbage. All right, guys, just want to bring you along. I'll show you how we take care of the weeds in the whole area, but this over here is just going to be old-fashioned hoe, rake, and a lot of elbow grease to get this ready for the weekend. All right, guys, I appreciate you, and I'll see you here in a little while. All right, well, we got the potato area ready. There's a big hill here in the middle, and the reason for that is on this side and this side we're going to put our potatoes. We'll dig trenches down, plant our potatoes, and the dirt that's in the trenches over here will go on this side. As potatoes grow, we'll use dirt from here and there to hill them up, and the same on this side here, all the way down on both sides. Hadn't dug the trenches yet, but we will. So we're going to work on, we've got to work on all these holes here and get ready for the onions to come in. So let me show you how we do that right quick. All right, guys, there's the potato row we just finished. Now I'm gonna start down here, this in here. Now I've got all these holes here that we're going to use for onions. I measured how far apart to put the onions, center to center. It's about 8 inches. And what I do to make this real quick and simple, I have a Milwaukee M18 cordless drill and a 4-inch self-auger wood bit. The bit I bought at a yard sale because I knew I was going to destroy it doing this, but it works great. And I think the guy, it was wore out when I got it. It was like $15. So what I do is, it's 4 inches big around. Here's the hole that we're going to plant in. Make sure your drill's on low and go slow with it. And all we're going to do, we'll auger it in about that deep. Back it out real slow. Dump the dirt. And we're going to repeat that for all the holes out here in the garden. The only thing that changes is the depth we do them and the spacing. So you can see it goes in there pretty quick. When you pull it out, give a little spin. That's what your holes look like. So you're not on your knees all day digging little holes, and this way just drop your amendments in the bottom, give it a quick mix with your hands, fill in around them, and you're good to go. I've only got to do this about 120 more times, so I think y'all get the gist of it, and that would probably bore you to death watching me drill holes. But yeah, it's just a cordless drill, a self-auger wood bit, and you can get these bits in 2 and 3 inch sizes if you got smaller stuff you want to do. We just use that universally. So let me get a bunch more holes done here, and we'll see what it looks like after I'm finished. Let's see what time it is. 4:07. Let's see how long it takes. All right, guys. Put the drill up, put the battery on the charger. We've got the potato row done today. I started the augering for the onions at 4:07. We've got 150, ended up with 150 holes, and it is 4:38. So it took about 30 some minutes, 31 minutes. But I also came over here and I did the holes for the broccoli over here, and I'm gonna wait for the cabbage to get up a little bit higher. They'll go in some of these holes here, but you leave the dirt up there, and what we'll do is we'll put some compost in the bottom of the holes, stir it around a little bit, put your plants in there at the depth that they need to be planted at, and we'll cover them up from there. So I drill my holes about 3.5, 4 inches deep. You can get different size bits. If you look around at yard sales and stuff, you can get them in 2, 3 inch. I just use the 4 inch because it gives me enough room around the plant to make sure we can put some compost and different stuff in it, and then you have enough dirt to fill in. So all those holes look like these, and we still got a lot to do. Where the string is here will be tomato plants and beans and butter beans, tomatoes, and over here we'll have some jalapeno peppers, we'll have some okra, and you know, we got close to 200 pounds of potatoes last year, about 100 and I don't know, 150 or 160 pounds of onions. But we're going to carry you along and show you what we're doing. Hopefully you guys are getting ready to start planting. I get excited about this time of year because sun's out, days get longer, chickens start laying more eggs, which I'm about to go check on now. So until we get to planting some of this stuff, hopefully this weekend, I've got to go get my potatoes and onions, and we're going to try to get them in the ground this weekend. Today's Wednesday, so we'll see what happens, and this whole place will start to come to life again. All right, we'll check back with you when we start doing all that. All right, guys, just went to pick up all of my onions and potatoes, and all of what you see here was $21, and with tax I think 73 cents roughly. We got 3/4 pound yellow onions, 3 pounds of white onions, 4 pounds of red onions. We got 4 pound and 4 1/4 pound red Lesotho potatoes, 2.5 pounds Yukon Gold, red Pontiac $2, or 2 pounds of those, and we've got white Kennebec. So what we're going to do today is we're probably going to start planting the onions, but let me show you what we have here for your potatoes. A lot of people are going to say they do different things. What I'm going to do is these eyes on this potato here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this potato right here, and I'm going to let them sit out here and dry for about 2 days before I plant them. I don't know, I might can get 2 out of that. Let's see what we got here. We'll cut one here, like so. Try to get on camera. All right, we'll cut that there. And with this one, I'm gonna say right in between there. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna let these sit out here in the greenhouse for about 2 days. They're wet now because I just cut them. What they're going to do is they're going to scab over, and they'll form a scab on them. And when that happens, we're going to plant them in the ground with your eye up. A lot of people take the whole potato and plant it. Some people plant it right after they cut it. This is the way I do it, guys. I have had success every year doing it this way. I'm not going to change, so you're not going to change my mind in the comments. It's just how I do it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay these out here, and so they can dry out, and I'm going to keep them separate. That's the white Kennebec potato. I'm going to do all of these. I'll show you all of them when they're done. I'm going to do all the potatoes like that, and then you'll see exactly how much you can do in your garden as far as potatoes and onions for, let's call it $22 even. So I just went to the local seed place here in the area. They carry all your hardware and your seeds, animal food, and this time of year they're really busy. But I'll bring you back. I'll show you everything about the onions. We're probably going to plant the onions today because we've already dug the holes for those. I want to get those in the ground. Like I say, potatoes, they're going to have to wait, you know, maybe a couple of days. We'll see how they dry out. All right, catch you back here in a little bit. All right, guys, got them all cut up. Turn the cut side up so they can start to dry. And you got to remember, each one of these has got an eye on them, like that one there. Each one of these is capable of producing, you know, 8 to 10 potatoes, sometimes more, off this one. So if you figure how many potatoes plants that's going to be, how many potatoes if each one of them only gave, say, 5. We spent $23 on all the potatoes and the onions over here. And so if you priced a bag of potatoes lately or onions, you'll know that this is a lot cheaper. I wanted to show you guys. I had this guy here. He had several sprouts on him. I want to show you how to address that. What I did is I cut, first of all, cut them in half. So I've got the sprout here on this one. Then I have the 2 sprouts here on that one. So then what I did is I cut those 2 in half. So that's going to be 3 potato plants right here. And when they dry, when they scab over, I'll show you that. When they scab over, we're going to plant them in the ground with the eye looking straight up like that. So we've got 3 out of 1 potato. So if you run across them and you're kind of, it's not an exact science, but cut them as equally as you can to, you know, off of 1 potato. So anyway, we're going to let these sit here and dry. And right now, I know I want to show you how many onions we got too. We're probably going to start planting some onions today. When I plant these guys here, once they dry out, we're going to go about, we're going to put about 1.5 inches of dirt over the top of them. And then we'll keep hilling them up as they grow. I'll show you that process along the way. But with the onions, we're going to start them out at about 1.5 inches deep. And we won't hill those or anything. We'll just let them keep growing. So I've got them all separated here so I know what's what, so I can mark them in the garden. Like I say, put the skin side up and just let them dry, you know, for a couple of days or until it gets a good scab over, it dries out, and then you can put them in the ground. All right, I'm gonna start with the onions. I'll be back with you in a little bit. All right, we've got our sweet onions, sweet yellow onions, white onions, and your Vidalia onions. See, some of these are sprouted pretty good. So when I put these in the ground, we're going to bury them about that deep, about 1.5 inches from the root up to there. And I'm going to mark those in the garden. So I'll show you a few of them. I'm not going to make you sit through the whole video. If you watch what I did yesterday, I drilled all those holes. That's where all of these guys are going to go. So we're getting these in early and get them started. Today is February 16th, so it's not too early. About the 15th, 16th, we'll start these outside, and that's what we're going to do with them. So we'll get to planting them, and what I'm going to do is I'm put some compost in the bottom of each hole, but I'll show you that too. So anyway, here, let's get started with that. All right, guys, we got all these onion holes we got to fill up today. I'm only going to bore you with a couple of them. We're going to start out with our red Vidalia onions. I want to show you a trick I did. On here, you can see scratch marks. From here to here is 1.5 inches. That's 1.5 inches. That'll be 2 inches, 2.5, 3, 3.5, and 4. You can mark it a lot better, guys. I just did it so I'll kind of get an idea of, you know, what I'm looking at. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get this dirt stirred up in the bottom. I'm going to take a handful of our compost. That's all it is, just compost. I'm going to put that in there. Let's see, that's about 2 inches deep there. I'm just going to lightly pack that down in there like that. Just a little bit more. We're going to take our onion. And you'll notice one end right here is going to be what comes up. The other end's got the roots on it. I'm going to set the rooted area right in the middle of the hole, just like that. And now I'm just going to put compost around him, around that part. I'm going to bring the dirt in. I'm going to pack it down around him gently. Get that stuff out of there. Put that in there. That's all there is to planting onions, guys. Like I say, it's not real complicated. A lot of people make this stuff complicated. It's not. Again, we're just going to put some compost in there. We're going to mix that around a little bit. This is our compost pile from the chickens and everything else. Old scraps we put in there. I'll pack that down a little bit. And again, right there's your roots. top part. Make sure your top part right here, looking straight up. We're just going to nestle him down in there like that. That's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. That's what we want. We'll throw in a little compost around him, and we're going to fill him up with dirt. And that's really it. Not a lot to it. As soon as I'm finished, when I'm done with all these holes, putting all the onions in. This is the same for the Yukon, or for the yellow onions and sweet onions, or yellow sweet, the white onions, and these Vidalias. So there, when I'm done, I'll come back, sweep everything up. I've counted them out. I got 154 onion sets to put in, and that's what I'm going to do all the way down. No need to really bore you with planting all these onions. It's aggravating. It's just something you got to do. But for the money I have invested, maybe $22, we're going to have over 154 onions. And I think the last time I counted, a bag of onions had about 7 in them, and they were like $5. So you can do the math on that. There again, we got the roots. You got your top right here. We're going to set them right in the middle, about 1.5 inches to 2 inches deep. Ain't got to be perfect. Something close to that. We'll just drop in some more compost, pull in some dirt. We'll pack this in. And this goes for the, like I said, it goes for the yellow and for the sweet. So I'm going to water these in, and if the dirt sinks down any, we'll come back and we'll add a little more dirt to them, compost. That's what I do. I just come in, I just mix it up in there. Get some of these weeds out of here. Thought I had most of that. But no fertilizer thrown in with it. It's just compost from the compost pile. There's your root. There's the tip of that. Put him right in the middle. Just kind of nestle him down in there. We're going to put some more compost around him. Going to pack it in. And then the dirt. And I'm sure everybody's got a way to do it. And that's okay. I'm showing you how I do it. And if you look at, I think I've got this picture of the garden last year. It's in my intro. You'll see all the onions. All that greenery you see in the intro was the onions here, and all of the potatoes over here. So there we go. I will catch up with you guys in a little bit and get all these holes done. All right, guys. We got 157 onion plants put in. So all we're going to do now is just going to water them in. Get them good and wet and get them started. Let that dirt settle around them good. And I'll bring you back next time, next couple of days or so, whenever we're going to put the potatoes in. We'll go over that. All right. Just going to finish watering all this in for the day. And we'll go check on the girls. All right, guys. Time to get these potatoes in. I'm going to show you briefly what I'm doing. I'm going to do it the whole way down. I'm not going to bore you with everything, because what I'm about to show you, I'm just going to repeat it over and over and over. Some people like to dig holes for theirs. You can do it any way you want to. I dig mine between, I just dig a trench, basically. And usually I usually go about 4.5, 5 inches, something like that, roughly. And all you're going to do is you're going to take your potato like this, right here. And we're just going to set him in there with the sprouts up, like that. We're going to space them about 10 inches apart. I usually go a little bit more. Just make sure they're seated down in there. And then I'll come back and I'll cover them up. But we're just going to do this over and over until we have all of it done, all the way down. And then I'll come over, I'll cover them up, and that'll pretty much be it. And as they start to sprout and grow, and get leaves on them, I'll bring you along for that. That's when we'll start hilling them up. That's all you're doing then, is just covering up the most of the growth. So anyway, guys, let's do this a whole bunch of times. All right, guys, got all of the potatoes done, all the onions done. Broccoli and cabbage will be going shortly, and the rest of the stuff is going to have to wait a little bit warmer weather, and when it starts to come up in the greenhouse, we get ready to transplant out here, I will bring you along for that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I do appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Until next time, I'm Tad, and we will talk about it. Have a great day.